So the Crash Bandicoot Mobile game was recently soft launched, but can it tell us anything about the next console Crash Bandicoot game? Let's take a look. How's it going, everyone? Blueknight here, and welcome back to yet another Crash Bandicoot video. And as you're all likely aware, the Crash Bandicoot mobile game received a soft launch recently via an alpha build, meaning it's not the final version of the game. Aside from that though, what can the game tell us, if anything, about the next console Crash Bandicoot game coming later this year? Well, seeing as it's a mobile game, there's probably not going to be all that much to go by. And the reason for that is because these types of mobile games, while having story elements, don't necessarily connect story-wise with the main title they are promoting. For example, Skylanders Ring of Heroes was launched worldwide shortly after the premiere of Skylanders Academy's third and final season and the launch of the Spyro Reignited trilogy, and nothing else happened concerning Skylanders, except for the fact that 1 year after this game's launch, the team behind it stated that the game would be rebooted and released sometime this year. If that's still happening, we'll have to wait and see. With Crash, it's a completely different situation because we all know at this point that a new game is coming. So this mobile game may not connect to the game story-wise, but is indeed tied into the promotional side of things. After all, this is a soft launch, not a full worldwide launch. Anyways, let's go ahead and dig into the main topic of today's video, the clues, which may not exist, but could expect to some extent in the next Crash game. Starting with the character designs. Crash's looks a bit more like the N-Sane trilogy, minus the fur textures in exchange for simpler textures, which I honestly like much better. Same goes for Coco, just minus the flower in her hair. Cortex basically unchanged. Nitrous Brio now has a tank top shirt and blue shorts in his mutated state. Mutated Dingo Flail and an odd looking Aku Aku. Looking at these designs, we could assume that the next game would continue from where the N-Sane trilogy left off, with a reset timeline, right? Well, at least until we see the numerous references to the Titans Mutants games, with the redesigned Scorporilla being a boss, and the remains of the Doominator that crashed on the island. Don't believe me? Well, the game actually references the robot by name attached to collected materials. So, no timeline reset? Instead, the series is just going to continue where Mind Over Mutant left off, despite redesigns, followed by more redesigns, on top of the multiple dimensions concept from Twinsanity. Like I said earlier, this is just a mobile game at the end of the day. It may not reflect the upcoming console Crash game whatsoever, but there's two possibilities for the next game, just looking at everything in the mobile game. However, these would still apply without the mobile game in the equation. The first possibility is that the new unannounced game will be a true Crash 4 with elements from later games sprinkled in. Examples being Scorporilla and the Dimensions concept, where basically N-Sane and Nitro Fueled cleaned the slate clean with a timeline reset, starting everything over. Or the second possibility is that the next game will be Crash 8, or as the community calls it, the Akko, essentially taking place after the last original Crash game, Mind Over Mutant, which was the 7th main series Crash game, which Scorporilla was featured in. Basically, this approach, I can imagine the developers wanting to leave the series as is, continue with an entirely new game and story, and build upon whatever's already been established up until this point. If you ask me, it'd work either way, because it's either erase post-N-Sane and Nitro Fuel history, or just continue where Crash was before bringing him back. It's really as simple as that, no question about it. With Spyro, that's a much more tricky area to discuss and may save that for another video, but what do you guys think about this? You think the mobile Crash game is giving us sort of a glimpse into the next console game? Whether that's Crash 4 or Crash 8, be sure to leave it all in the comments section below, and also be sure to stay tuned to the channel for even more Crash Bandicoot content coming your way. Once again, thank you all so much for watching and supporting the channel. I've been Blueknight, and I'll see you guys back here next time. Goodbye!
Yes.